Well, thank you very much. Julie was obviously excited to be here. I'm slightly daunted, actually, looking at this audience. Maybe it's worth saying at the beginning, I work in higher education, obviously, and have been doing so for 14 years. But prior to that, I worked for 26 years in the NHS, and I think I'm probably the best person around to kind of talk against higher education in this area, because I think, believe it or not, the NHS is more advanced and has been thinking about this issue for a much longer time. So right up front, I'm accepting that women are underrepresented in the professoriate at all universities, including Leeds, and also in senior leadership positions at Leeds. When I arrived here and discovered that I was going to be working with 9 deans who are all men, I felt I was kind of moving back in time. So I really welcome this initiative, and I hope that the healthcare and the clinical academic leadership network is successful. Now, having said that, the university's commitment on this issue is strong, very strong commitment to gender equality. It's expressed in a number of ways. We have a very clear university equality inclusion framework which sets out our idea of achieving excellence in the sector, but doing so whilst promoting a culture of inclusion, of respect, and of equal opportunity for all. Athena Swan's been mentioned a number of times already, and I thought I'd best just say a little bit about what it is. We are committed in the university to the Athena Swan Charter. We currently have an institutional bronze charter mark. A number of faculties in the university have silver awards, and we're working towards an institutional silver award. So what does Athena Swan do? It recognises our commitment to advancing women's careers in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and that's in universities, that's where people usually stop when they talk about STEM. But of course there's another M on STEM, which is medicine and related topics. We do that in higher education and research. So this focuses on issues of progression and issues relating to working environment, and it's based on 6 principles. And these are, firstly, a commitment and a commitment to action from everyone to address gender equality. So this is kind of nowhere to hide charter. It's dependent on a willingness to change cultures and attitudes, the need for diversity in management and at the policy making levels of universities and higher education bodies. It embraces steps to avoid a high loss rate of women. It deals with the disadvantageous effects of short-term contracts, which is a big problem in universities that are dependent particularly on research funding. And it aims to tackle the personal and the structural obstacles that women face in making the transition, particularly from PhD studentships into sustainable academic careers. And this is a crucial area for us. That step and the notion of nurturing young people, men and women, through careers in higher education, hugely important to us at the moment. In addition to signing up to all of that, we've committed ourselves to the government's Your Life campaign, and this encourages greater participation of young women in STEM subjects, and also to the White Rose. White Rose is a term that we use to describe a partnership between the universities of Sheffield, Leeds and York, the White Rose Women in Leadership Initiative. And this is based on research which has explored some of the problems of achieving more equal representation of women in senior professorial roles in higher education, and it's something that we're now beginning to act on. So I just want to leave you with a commitment, really, and that is to say that I am personally very keen to work on this with you, with the Trust, and particularly Julian and Yvette and others whom we work with and have strong relationships with. We work to achieve progress, a better balance, and from my point of view, we're trying to achieve that at every level of the university. And as you move forward with your network, I'm quite happy to be judged not just on what I'm saying, but what I'm doing. I've just taken on the chair of the University Equality and Inclusion Committee, and this is a committee of our Governing Council, which oversees the delivery of the framework, but also is responsible for achieving progress against the Athena Swan principles. So we've got to put our money where our mouth is, and I thought I'd just reflect for a second on 4 of the most recent senior appointments at the university, all telling, I hope, the right story. So we've just appointed Professor Elaine Martin, a distinguished industrial statistician and engineer, to lead what is essentially a predominantly male world of, or has traditionally been a male world of chemical and process engineering. Helen Gleeson, who's a liquid crystal scientist, is coming to join us and to be the first woman at the University of Leeds to lead the School of Physics and Astronomy. And she's also a leading figure in something called Project Juno, which is the physicists have to be different from everyone else, of course. This is the physicists' version of Athena Swan, but it's just as powerful and has actually been very successful across that range of activity. Tina Egan is our new Director of Strategy and Planning, and Jane Campbell has just taken up her job as Head of our Career Service. Now, all of these people, without doubt, were selected absolutely on the basis of merit. Each one of them outstanding, and I hope each one of them falling in to the category that you have already identified of role models. But coincidentally, they're all taking over from men, and I think that's a shift you'll see more of in the years to come. Thank you very much indeed.